Hey people, it is Friday, June 20th. The time is 8:27 p.m. and the temperature is about 23 degrees Celsius as a Queen streetcar rolls by. I was just at this patio on the left, and that is the Score on Queen. That was my first time going there. Since it re-emerged from its former existence as the Black Bull Tavern. And I can say the patio was most excellent. The service was really good. And I had a really solid hamburger there as well. And that isn't just the 4 pints speaking, it was really good. But my plan was to actually do a nightlife walk after tonight's festivities over on King Street West. But as you can see, it's a little bit early for that. It's not quite dark enough. I don't think things will be really happening over there, so maybe I'll do that next week. But I thought, what the hell, I'm downtown, I need to go home. Alright, fuck that guy. Literally just right on the road. But I thought, since I have to go home, let's pull out the camera and record a walk. So I'm gonna head east along Queen Street here. Keep Doggo hanging out of that BMW. And then we will go north all the way up to maybe Bloor Yonge. And I think sunset is around 9:05 tonight. And it is 8:29, so it'll be daylight for most of the walk. But this is the first day of summer. As we get to John Street, I did a walk earlier that started over in the St. Lawrence neighborhood. And found my way over to John Street from King, and then I came north up to Queen, and then I walked over to the Score where I met a buddy that I used to go to high school with. Actually, first met him in grade 8, which I think would have been around 1994, 93, 94. So I've known him for quite a while. Well, this artwork is new. That's the old Chum building on the right. Lots of room on this patio, it looks like. We'll be walking by another warehouse location. This is McCall Street. The Ontario College of Art and Design is just to the north of here.
unsure, like...
It's kind of that odd in-between time of night. Just after the dinner hour. Some people are going home like me. Some people are just getting their night started. I'm sure Yonge Street will be somewhat lively, so maybe we'll head over there. Ooh, it looks like the Blue Jays are getting their ass handed to them. 7-0 to the lowly Sox. They've got the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. These are the things my mind is on right now. There's the Campbell House Museum on the left. They were open as part of Doors Open. There was such a long lineup. I didn't even bother trying to get in there. There's the Four Seasons Center for the Performing Arts, otherwise known as the Opera House. Although there's a live music venue on Danforth Avenue that goes by the moniker the Opera House. That's home to the Canadian Opera Company. I think there's probably a performance going on there tonight.
That's different from what you're seeing live.
The proof is
There's a lot of streetcar diversions going on in the city. This one is a 503 Kingston streetcar, making its way over to Dufferin Gate. Just east of here, the direction I'm going in, the streetcars divert. The Queen streetcars, that is. Well, there's a King streetcar. Well, that one diverts up to Queen, but the Queen streetcars divert down to Richmond and Adelaide. There's also a disruption along King Street due to the closure of King and Church. It's an absolute gong show, and I've mentioned this before, but I can't even remember the last time all the streetcar lines were operational. without any closures or diversions. Let's cut through Nathan Phillips Square and I'll make my way up to Dundas. And we'll pop over to Yonge and then we'll be north up to Yonge Bloor. It's a relatively quiet night actually. Figured there might be more people out given how nice the weather is and that it's officially summer. I don't think there's any events or festivals taking place at Nathan Phillips Square this weekend. That's new City Hall off in the distance. Old City Hall straight ahead. Photobombing that FIFA Toronto sign. And despite having the bases loaded, the Jays failed to cash. So this is north up Bay Street.
It's okay. Hey, guys, chill with that.
I do not know what he was saying. Perhaps that's a good thing. So at Dundas Street up ahead, I'm gonna make a right. And I might just have to make a pit stop in the Eaton Center. Apologies for that in advance. But the forecast said there might be rain tonight. It said there was a 40% chance. That's why I brought the backpack with an umbrella in it. We've been somewhat fortunate to avoid that so far. They've got the light to cross. Not sure if there's any events taking place at Dundas Square this weekend, but we'll find out in a minute. I love the lighting here at this time of night.
Hey guys!
Yeah, we could definitely find it. Holy shit, look at this.
And the mall closes at 9, so we should be good. All right, this pit stop, I almost said pot stop, is brought to you by the Johnny Stumbles channel. Head over there. That is also me. That's my alter ego. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that fun stuff. But I will be back in a flash, and we'll see if I can find this exact camera angle when I come back. Anyway, see you in a moment. Yoink. I'm not sure if I nailed the angle, but it sure smells a whole lot more like weed than the last time I was at that spot a few minutes ago. This is Yonge Dundas at the tail end of the Scramble Crossing. And it is now 8:55 p.m.
Repeat to believe. Oh, me. Hallelujah. No one will get you, my sister. For the Jews, master, require time. You're looking for time.
As the march up Yonge Street recommences. Or commences, since I didn't really get to it the first time. There's the former HMV. I mentioned we'd be walking by another warehouse restaurant. I may be at one tomorrow. I think I'm gonna... Hey, we just heard Girls' Generation, GGG. I didn't hear that song in a while. I first heard that when I moved to Korea back in like 2008. Now someone's gonna fact check me and tell me that song didn't exist back in 2008. As we look at Zanzibar. As I was saying, I'm gonna go to a 90s night, I think, tomorrow night. Near Bloor and Ossington at the Piston. And I might be going to the warehouse before that. The Annex location for a quick, cheap bite. And yesterday I finished a live stream off in front of a Shawarma Royale on Danforth. I guess you could say I'm now a fan of that place. And just to add another wrinkle of fun into this inebriated walk, I've got 34% battery on my camera. That should be enough to carry us up to Yonge Bloor. As we look into College Park. Seems like a solid deal for a gym, 15 bucks a month.
That should go in room with it.
And we've got Carlton Street on the right, College Street on the left. And College Station is at this intersection, so 2 more subway stops to go.
Well, we got to turn on Wood Street, so I figured we could pop in.
Oddly quiet for a Friday night.
Oh, that's why online.
As we get to Yonge and Grosvenor.
Stuff that like leans more to what I need to, you know, like that.
There's a grotesque automobile, if you can call it that. AT. It's always been busy as of late. Well, ever since it opened next to Japadog, which I've yet to try. I went to Firehouse Subs shortly after it opened, and I found it to be quite solid. I've walked by a ton of newer Asian restaurants on the left. And my friend tonight originally wanted Korean fried chicken. Well, it wasn't from the fry, which I do find to be rather excellent, but he wanted to go to the BBQ chicken restaurant up at Yonge and Eglinton, but when our other friend pulled out, and by that I mean said he couldn't attend, I decided let's just meet downtown instead. instead. That's how we ended up at the Score on Queen. First board game club owned by a cat in Toronto. It's obviously a ridiculous statement to make. As we get to Wellesley. I once had a very drunken night. This is probably TMI at the Madison pub a long, long time ago. And found myself waking up in that building right there. And that used to be a Starbucks. It's an odd memory that just
That's okay, because
popped into my head. Details of that night need not be explained. Also, that was, well over 20 years ago. Soulicious, that place is good. This was an Aroma cafe. Now it's a Korean premium dessert cafe, the Peach. There's a new Goa Salon location. That's pretty huge. I started going to the Goa Salon up at Midtown at Yonge and Eglinton. They've got another location, I think, down on Adelaide downtown. It's ramen. Even though I had a big hamburger and a few too many beers, more than I'd like to admit. I'm feeling kind of hungry. I might have been listening to Silverchair. I don't think it was, but it sounded kind of like that song Tomorrow. If you're old like me, you might remember them. There's some people sweating it out with some Pilates, it looks like. I remember when Action Kid was here, he befriended the owner of this place. I think that was his first trip here. new Popeyes is opening up across the street.
It's like prime real estate now.
Gestern so spät, ja.
All right, just another block or so to go. There's Chick-fil-A, the restaurant that will not be open on Sundays. A site giving their employees the day off. But really, I think the whole chain is run by some religious nut jobs. In the football stadium, the Atlanta Falcons playing.
Every little things we visualize.
Chipotle has, or Chick-fil-A has, a contract there. And what they do on Sundays is they just rebrand themselves to a different named restaurant and open up and operate under that name as a loophole workaround. It's really kind of ridiculous. Just call it Chipotle and open up. We've got 10 seconds. Can I diagonally cross the intersection? We're going to say yes. Yes, I did. Even though no, I didn't. Anyways, it's probably best that I stop recording myself now, so I want to thank you for tuning in and watching this one. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I've got an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. And there's a tall ass building, Yonge Bloor West, in the center of the shot. Anywho, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yonk.